Okay, welcome back. So let's have example 1 of how to calculate the mean of ungroup frequency distribution using the zoom mean method. And the question is on the board. As you can see, we have the max column and we have the frequency column. The max we have 5 to 10, and the frequencies are also there. We have 7, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, and that's the question. For the sake of time, I have gone ahead to determine the other side of the table, because we're dealing with time, and that's it. But as I explained, how do we get our zoom mean? And as I always advise, when you get the question, quote the formula down, and when you look at the formula is quoted, you know what you're looking for to do your calculation. So the formula is saying that the mean by the zoom mean is given as S is equal to A plus summation FG or divided by summation F, where our A here is the assumed mean that I have explained how to determine in the previous video. Now, if you look at this data, I explained that the assumed mean is always picked around the center of the data because it's a figure that represents. So it's always found around the middle of the distribution or the middle of the data, as you saw in the case of the 7 boys who went to read on the farm, and they were paid some amounts and they put all together and shared among themselves equally. You saw how it was done. So looking at this data, you see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you have two middle figures that are around here. You have two middle figures that are around here. So you can choose any of these. We can choose any of these to be our zoom mean. As I said, some people prefer to use the figure with the highest frequency, in which case I will use the 7 here as my zoom mean to do my calculation. But I chose 8 for the calculation. But no matter what you do, if you pick either 7 or 8 for the calculation, you will get it right. You will get it right. But to avoid confusion, when it happens this way, people always choose the mark with the higher frequency as their zoom mean. And as I said, no matter the figure you choose, if the calculation is well done, you're going to arrive at the same answer. So in your own free time, when you're doing your studies, you can try and see. Pick the 7 as your zoom mean and see what you get, and pick the 8 as your zoom mean and see what you get. But I chose 8, and the answer which I should arrive at it. So when you do that, just write the 8 at the top of the table. So you can write the A is equal to the zoom mean, that's the figure that you have chosen. You're going to have it over here. So my 8 is the zoom mean, or the zoom mean is equal to 8. So I write on top here. A is equal to 8. So it will be on your mind, fresh on your mind. So mostly write it at the top of the table there, and you will see. So when you come here, we're saying that the deviation that we're looking for, because we're looking for the deviation D. So we can get summation, we can get FD to get summation FD, because the equation is saying that we're going to have A plus summation FD or divided by summation F. We can get the F, but there's no D, so we can get FD. So we can also get summation FD. Okay, so when you do that, what you do is that now that you know that the A is given as 8, you pick the first mark, that is 5 minus, because it's saying D is equal to X minus A. This actually represents the max. If a mark is in bracket X and frequency into bracket F. So when you pick each of the marks, you're going to take them, you take each of them, subtract the assumed mean from it, and the figure you get will multiply by the F to get the summation F. So in this case, we're going to have 5 being the X for this particular column. So it's going to be 5 minus 8, that's negative 3. The next one is 6, that's X is 6 here. We're going to have 6 minus 8, that's negative 2. The next one is 7 minus 8, negative 1. The next one is 8 itself minus 8, which will give us 0. Then the next mark is 9 minus 8, give us positive 1. And then the last mark is 10. So 10 minus 8 gives us positive 2. Now, if you are conversant with the procedure, you can go ahead to write your answer without going through this whole subtraction. You can just write inside this column negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, and 2. But for the sake of illustration, I did it inside so you can see how it's done. But if you can do it offhand and put the answer there for me in an examination situation, you are welcome. So learn to do it offhand without even, or you can do it some as a rough work and then put the answer in here. But if you do it this way too, there's no problem at all. So now that we've obtained our D, we can get FD. So by doing so, we take 7 by negative 3, you get negative 21. That's FD for the first side. Then the next one is frequency is 3. Going by negative 2, we get negative 6. Then 4 with negative 1, we get negative 4. Then 2 by 0, we get 0. Then 2 by 1, we get 2. Then 3 by 2, we get 6. When we do that, we have now got our table complete. So we can conveniently determine summation F and summation FD, and then go ahead to get our mean for this distribution. So when we do that, the summation F is equal to 21. Is here. When you add, you get 21 for the sake of time. Then when you, if you come to the side, if you do the summation over here, summation FD will be negative 23. So we have got summation F and summation FD. So we can conveniently substitute this figure into our formula or equation and go ahead to get our mean determined. So when we do that, we're going to have the mean as the formula is here. The 8 is, our A is 8. We're going to have 8 plus summation FD is negative 23. So put into bracket negative 23 divided by summation F, which is 21. So you have 21 over here. So if we do this evaluation, we're going to get 8 minus, because we are adding this to negative something, the negative overcome the positive. We're going to have 8 minus the outcome of this in the bracket. So when we do that, we're going to have 8 minus, you can still put another bracket here, fine. Or okay, 8 plus, bracket open, negative 1.095. You can open the bracket, you're going to have 8 minus 1.095. When we do this evaluation, we're going to get 6.9. 6.9. Remember, we have solved this question before using the direct method, and the answer we had was 6.9. Go and look at the previous video. You can see that when we're doing that, the direct method, using the direct method for ungrouped distribution, we solved the same question using that method. So I try to do it so you can see that when you are doing, if you're dealing with the mean, whether the direct method, assume mean method, or any other method that you use, if it's well done, you arrive at the same answer. Thank you, and let's go and look at example 2.